Elephants are fucking dangerous, guys. Are you serious? Why? Then they should fucking get over it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't look like a child at all. Oh, how much worse can it get with people? Freaking the fuck out. But here, today, on Fear Friday, we're going to be watching some Abyssal Detective once again. The most disturbing things caught on Dashcam footage. Iceberg. It'll be a pretty long video. It's about an hour. About. This is the newest video. It came out like 4 days ago. So I was holding off on this one so I could watch it with you guys for the first time. Let's see if I freak the fuck out again this time. If I go on a rant again. Oh boy. This should be fun. Alright. Here we go.
Oh my god, what did she do? Babe, what happened?
The flashing images.
40 disturbing dashcam encounters. 7 levels. This is an iceberg of some of the most unnerving dashcam footage you'll ever see. We'll start with a strange but well-known video.
Oh,
shit. Deeper, the video.
Bro, we just fucking started. I already want to fucking kick someone's ass. Bro, come on. That's just the intro. And some people are fucking stupid. Okay, let's. You think the volume's good? Alright, good.
Videos will get increasingly more intense.
Wait, I've seen that. We've seen that one before in the last video.
Let's start at the tip of the iceberg.
Oh god. 7 levels apparently, yeah.
Insurance fraud caught on cam.
Oh,
on October 16th, 2024, Ashpia Natasha was driving down the Queensbelt Parkway in Brooklyn,
I actually think I've seen this one before, and then
they
they stop and then back up into them.
In a major accident, caused,
idiots.
Of course, by the car
they come out of the train.
in front of her.
The car like,
and it was all
no.
caught on dash cam.
Then watch. They come out of the vehicle and it's like, oh no, oh god, what have you done? Oh, you slammed right into us, you fucking idiot. And then it's like, the second that they see the dash cam, they're like, oh no, what have we done? I went too far now, apparently. Uh-oh.
New York.
I can't switch positions anymore? Oh no.
Accident, caused, of course, by the car right in front of her. And it was all caught on dash cam. The footage shows Ashpia on her way home, only to be cut off by a silver Honda Civic driven by Michael Martinez. It's obvious that Ashpia is already unnerved by the erratic driving of the car, but then Michael inexplicably stops in front of her and reverses right into her SUV.
It's not inexplicable. They did it for a reason.
Ashpia instantly calls her boyfriend to explain what happened, watching as the 4 people inside the Civic climbed out to take photos of the damage caused to both cars.
Oh no.
It's pretty obvious that the whole thing was one wild insurance fraud scheme, and that they planned to pin the $8,300 damages on her. But of course, the dash cam made that difficult. The footage had provided enough irrefutable evidence proving that he was staging a motor vehicle accident, committing reckless endangerment with those inside both vehicles, and blatant insurance fraud. Michael was arrested not long after the incident.
Thank goodness.
When the case went to court, Michael pleaded not guilty, but by this point, the video had gone wildly viral with over 74 million views.
Oh my god.
But that video raised even more questions. A red Kia Sport had been tailing Ashpia's car the whole time. It suddenly pulled around, picked up one of the people inside the Civic, and fled the scene,
it was a whole
suggesting that Ashpia was always the target. The video also showed the occupants of the Honda using a plastic tarp to obscure Natasha's view while switching seats inside the vehicle to make it seem that the woman was driving, not Michael. Michael was sentenced for his crimes, but 3 accomplices remain at large as of February 2025.
Fucking stupid.
A ghost sitting in the middle of a highway. It was May
Ghosts?
2017, and 25-year-old Aswan Yap and his friend were driving through Kuala Lumpur's Bukit Tungku district, an area notorious for paranormal activity. But just...
Hold on. What was that?
17 and 25-year-old Aswan
video
Yap
looks
and his
familiar, though.
friend were driving through Kuala Lumpur's Bukit Tungku district.
Bukit Tungku. Alright, that's... And where? Did they say Australia or Austria? Or
An area
did I just
notorious
miss-
for paranormal
everything?
activity. But just as they rounded the corner, they happened to
Ah.
see something extremely unsettling on the road in front of them. A
People.
strange human-like figure seated in the middle of a dimly lit road.
Yeah, they're
Freaked
just
out by
drunk,
the
dude.
sight, Aswan immediately reversed the vehicle, performed a U-turn, and sped away as dashboard warning lights inexplicably activated, despite there being no clear problems. The footage went instantly viral, in part because locals wanted to share their experience of the area. Reportedly, Bukit Tungku is linked to an abandoned British colonial mansion where a woman's in the 20th century
Oh.
left her spirit lingering.
Is
Now,
that right?
residents who drive through the area are said to encounter her restless spirit as well as others, including stories of encounters with a phantom motorcyclist believed to be the ghost of a crash victim. For Aswan, he knew that the
Or
figure was
just a
possibly a robber,
motorcyclist.
but in his mind, the image, coupled with the supernatural history of the area and the bizarre technical malfunctions, suggested something more paranormal in nature.
No, it could have been just
and
a
that
robber, though.
was enough reason to get out of there. Highway heist. The dashcam footage shows a man riding his motorcycle down a highway in Brazil. But
Okay.
before long, he notices someone flashing him from behind, blinding him in the wing mirrors.
Yeah,
He
that's
summons the guy
nice.
to pass, but as the motorcycle passes by, the rider reaches out, rips the guy's phone out of the mount before disappearing into the distance. At the
Bro.
same time, another motorcyclist appears on the other side of the camera, so there may be a gang of them. As it turns out,
Yeah.
this is a very common problem in Brazil. Usually, there are two people on a motorcycle who target pedestrians or drivers, snatching phones, wallets, or jewelry
Jeez.
before escaping through congested
Caught this on
traffic
fucking
before the
camera,
victim
too?
can even hope
They
to
just
catch up.
steal the whole fucking
Phones are
motorcycle?
then sold on the black market, creating a highly profitable criminal organization. Despite
Bro.
many local wishes, Brazilian law does not permit retaliation in the form of lethal force, including hitting the culprits with
Ooh!
one's car, which is exactly
Oh,
why the
no!
situation just continues to make money for the criminals. Child stands
Bro,
alone
that's
on a
fucking
dark
shitty.
highway. In April 2021, Queensland motorist Mitch Cooney was traveling down the Hume Highway in Australia with his mother when they noticed what seemed to be a small, lonely figure dressed in blue wandering across the road. It seemed almost like a child. And the whole
Bangkok
thing
tattoo
was caught
apparently
on
is in Malaysia.
Dashcam, confirming their
In
suspicions.
Malaysia, okay.
They
Maybe I just
immediately
misheard.
reported the sighting to authorities, with his mother immediately calling the police while he continued driving, fearing sudden stops could cause an accident. Police later confirmed that call did take place. In fact, Campbelltown police launched 2 extensive searches of the area within a few days.
You sure
They
that was
could
a
find
kid,
no
though?
evidence of a child, missing persons report,
That doesn't look like a
or
child.
witnesses. Authorities confirmed no children had been reported missing in the region at the time.
No, but look,
But
okay, hold up.
that
Yeah, that doesn't look like a child at all. That just looks like a plastic bag stuck on something. Maybe. Or like something else. It does not look like a child.
It's far from the end of the story.
Oh,
When Mitch
there's
called
more?
up later to follow up on the case, an officer inexplicably told him that the child had been collected safely, despite never actually acknowledging that there was a child. Later, the police denied ever providing this information. Social media, however, completely followed up on the whole thing. The evidence seemed far too convincing to be dismissed so easily. Online users debated whether the figure
What?
was actually a ghost, given the total lack of any other logical explanations for a
Of course. Leave it to the internet to immediately go to the most unlikely scenario. Good job, internet. You did it again.
small person being on the road. But despite enhanced video analysis, the figure's identity remains unverified, and police closed the case without resolution. Woman with a pitchfork. On
Oh.
July 19th, 2022, Lisa Ann Sloan, a 56-year-old woman, was selling teddy bears behind the building of a Publix supermarket when the store manager called the police, reported that the woman had stabbed a parked minivan with the pitchfork, damaging its body. Though the vehicle's owner declined to press charges,
the
troopers
fuck?
responded to the scene after Sloan began waving the weapon near the store's entrance during a rainstorm. This was the footage captured from the officer's dash cam. The clip shows Sloan standing in the parking lot, pointing a black whip at the car and raising both weapons defiantly. When ordered to disarm, she refuses and walks away, prompting troopers to physically restrain her.
Well, yeah.
Even after being handcuffed and placed in a patrol vehicle, Sloan unbuckled her seatbelt and kicked the windows while screaming, "God is great," and demanding release.
Oh no! Oh no! It's the religion, people. Okay. All right. Sorry. Let's. Really gives religion a bad rap. Not gonna lie. It's not helping.
Officers saw fresh cuts and bruises on her body, yet when they asked about it, she claimed to feel no pain, stating repeatedly that God is in control.
Oh,
After
no.
interviewing her, it became clear that Lisa was high on some
That's
kind of
ominous.
stimulant drug, but showed no signs of alcohol use. She was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a
Yeah, no
third-degree
alcohol,
felony,
but
and
maybe
held at
just
the Lake
insanity?
County Jail on a
Or
$2,000
drugs.
bond.
Or
The
both.
pitchfork was seized as evidence, and no injuries were reported despite her erratic behavior. Level 2.
Okay, we're going down a
Trees
level.
crashing down.
Oh,
On February 12, 2017, a Slovakian driver was driving along
is that
a
gonna be right in
forest
front of a
road
car?
in the Low Tatras National Park when he happened to catch the unbelievable sight of a forest collapse right in front of and on top of his car.
fuck.
Dozens of trees suddenly fell across the path in quick succession,
Oh,
with several trunks
shit.
collapsing on the car's roof and windshield. Somehow, all the passengers inside the car left totally unharmed, though
Jesus.
2 trees supposedly missed their heads by just 20 centimeters. The whole thing happened during extreme weather conditions, with
Well, yeah, that would
unusually
explain
high
a lot,
winds likely
obviously.
contributing to the destabilization of the forest. As the first trees fell, the driver slammed on the brakes, coming to a stop mere feet from the initial collapse. Within
It's okay.
seconds,
It's not all
additional
Christians,
trees
trust me,
crashed
I
down in a
understand.
domino effect, partially burying the vehicle under debris. While no official cause was determined, meteorologists speculated that saturated ground from winter snowfall combined with strong gusts created the perfect conditions for the mass tree fall. Emergency services later
That looked
praised
like,
the driver's
a
quick
mudslide,
reaction
too.
time, noting that attempting to reverse
Or
would have
like the
resulted
same
in
conditions
worse outcomes
as a
given the
mudslide.
rapid succession of falling timber.
My God.
An elephant attacks.
Oh,
It was
good.
June 2021, and Norman
Africa.
Carey, a delivery driver for Bosbach Gas and Smearmiddels, was transporting diesel through South Africa's Klaseri Private Game Reserve. Dashcam footage captured the moment Norman slowed his truck upon encountering a herd of elephants crossing the road, allowing them to pass. Then suddenly, he saw a mother elephant emerging.
That's in 2021.
Bushes.
Oh, fuck. That was actually
Hoping to
recent.
try and intimidate
More
her
recent,
away,
at least.
Norman revved the engine and banged on the vehicle's door panel. And it worked. She left the scene entirely. But Norman knew better than to think it was over. He had
Yeah.
to wait for the elephants to fully pass before he could continue
Jeez.
on his route. Suddenly, the mother elephant charged right at the car aggressively.
Again?
With no hope for Norman to even try and leave the scene.
Oh,
The
fuck.
3.5-ton elephant rammed the truck.
And he's got a
head
trailer
on,
and everything?
crumpling the hood like paper
Jesus.
and forcing the vehicle backward. With a heavy trailer full of gas attached to his car, Norman couldn't move much, but stayed inside the cabin knowing that anything else would be dangerous.
Okay, yeah. Elephants are fucking dangerous, guys. I don't know if I need to tell you this. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Like, yes, they can be docile as long as they're used to human interaction, but also don't let your guard down just because you're around an elephant. They will fuck you up. My God. That's fucking
The elephant caused
crazy.
around $3,700
Ooh.
in damages with its weight
That's more than
and
my
tusks
PC.
alone.
Actually, no, not quite.
Wildlife
Actually,
experts have since suggested that the elephant's behavior stemmed purely from
little bit
internal
less.
protectiveness, possibly defending hidden calves in the herd that weren't visible to Norman. What made the situation even worse is that the elephants typically display warning signs like head shaking or trumpeting before charging, but this incident unfolded abruptly with basically no warnings. Norman couldn't
And then
do
maybe
anything.
something happened there before that caused her to be on edge. And then they just happened to arrive, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back, basically. Huh.
To
Maybe.
prevent this. Killer clown craze.
Oh, God.
On October 7th,
Clowns.
2016, at around 2:30 a.m., Wisconsin police received multiple 911 calls
Yeah, this
reporting
was-
2 individuals in clown masks chasing.
You guys remember that? Remember when clowns were very popular? Like, all of a sudden, there was like a shit ton of calls for clowns. It wasn't even around Halloween or anything. It was just like all over the country, people were dressing up as clowns and doing really creepy shit. And that was all over the internet for like a while. Not even a long while. It was like a couple of months. And then it was just gone. Was it during this time? I think it might have been during this time. Like 2016-ish, around that area. I think I remember still being in college at this point. Still learning. Still becoming the man I am to the ghost I am today. The ghost man. Anyways, I think that was it.
vehicles and pedestrians. When police arrived at the scene, the dash cam captured them confronting 2 men, aged 20 and 29, and a 26-year-old woman who had driven the group around during the prank. The investigation into the incident led them to realize that the woman and one of the men were a couple with a 4-year-old daughter, and not only were they terrorizing the community, but they completely abandoned their child, leaving her unsupervised in their
What?
home while engaging in these psychotic.
Why? Parenting 101. Never abandon your fucking child. I'm gonna swear a lot again. I'm so sorry. See, I realized this when I made the last video. I swear way too damn much. I'm making it so much harder for myself to edit these videos because I have to censor everything I say. I'm gonna try and swear less, but goddamn, that is stupid. What?
Late-night antics. The child was alone for hours before authorities intervened. The Department of Human Services eventually placed the child in custody of the Department of Human Services, while the parents faced charges
To do something? Yeah. The one of the clowns and the girl driving them around were a couple with a child, and they abandoned their child to terrorize the town with their clown prank. The child was abandoned for fucking hours.
Don't censor shit.
I just censored again. I'm gonna have to censor it. I have to. It's for YouTube. YouTube don't like that shit. Damn it. I just said a shit word. I said it again. I'm gonna have to stop. You know what? I'm gonna try not censoring and see how well it goes. But the last video didn't really get that many views to begin with, so we'll see.
of child neglect. The woman was also held on a probation violation. The accomplice, not related to the couple, was released without charges. The couple had jumped on to a nationwide trend of creepy clown
Yeah, see?
sightings and pranks
That's what
in
I'm talking about.
2016, but this case stood out due to the neglect allegations.
Yeah, no
Police
kidding.
Chief Tim Styka released a statement condemning the parents' actions,
That's
emphasizing the
stupid.
dangers of
Don't
both
do that.
abandoning a young child and provoking potentially intoxicated drivers during early morning hours. But
Really?
we wouldn't condemn you for liking and subscribing to this video,
Oh.
so it might be worth thinking about.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Level 3.
Level 3 already, huh?
Chelyabinsk meteor. On the 15th of
Oh, wait,
February
yeah, I remember this.
2013, the Chelyabinsk meteor entered Earth's atmosphere over Russia's Ural region.
And it
The asteroid
lit up
was
so
estimated to be
bright.
18 meters
looked like
wide
daytime.
and traveling at 19 kilometers per second. All across the region, the giant burning rock was visible in the sky for miles. When the meteor finally exploded, it was approximately 30 kilometers above Chelyabinsk Oblast. The airburst released energy equivalent to between 440,000 and 500,000 tons of TNT,
God
triggering
damn.
a shockwave that shattered windows
Yeah.
across 6 cities, damaging over 7,200 buildings.
And a bunch
and
of people
injuring
got
nearly
injured because of the
1,500
glass,
people,
not because of the
mostly from
shockwave.
flying glass. The whole incident was captured extensively by dash cams, which recorded the meteor's luminous
Okay,
trajectory,
thank you for the alert.
appearing brighter than the sun, and the subsequent explosion that illuminated the morning sky. Videos showed the
was
fireball's
sick.
descent followed by a delayed sonic boom that rattled buildings minutes later.
Holy shit.
Охренеть.
The footage proved critical for scientists, enabling precise
Well, yeah.
calculations of the asteroid's speed, angle of entry, and explosion height.
Dude, I'm so
One
happy we
Dashcam
got that
video
on
even
camera. That's
captured
sick.
The aftermath of the strike on Lake Chebarkul, creating a 6-meter wide hole in the ice. Man
Woo!
jumps on woman's windscreen. It was
Excuse me?
7:30 p.m. in Queensland, Australia. And
Oh,
a woman was
no.
driving home
Australia
when she
again.
suddenly encountered a couple
What's wrong with
having
you
some
people at
kind
night?
of an argument. But while the woman drifted away from the road, the man didn't move. Not wanting to scare him or make him feel threatened, she cautiously kept her distance and tried to go around him. It seemed to anger him even more. The dashcam footage shows the man turning and starting to walk toward the car. Suddenly, he starts to climb up on the car and then starts aggressively smashing the windshield. But the driver
Bruh.
is in a state of panic, unsure of what exactly to do about the situation.
All right, don't do that.
When she later recalled the incident, the woman described the attack as happening so
I'm going to say drugs or alcohol or both. But at this time, oh wait, what time is it? It was like 2:30-ish in the morning. Is that it? October 12th? Or is that December 10th? I can't tell. Either ways, we'll see what the explanation is later. I hope.
quickly that she was left in shock, unable to immediately react or do anything to protect herself. With the attacker on the hood, she found herself trapped. Behind the car, the woman this man was with was standing, trying to talk him down. But now the victim was unable to reverse due to the risk of hurting her, and she couldn't drive forward without risking further violence. But the man was not finished. He tried to force open the passenger door, which was thankfully locked, making it seem more realistic that he was about to seriously harm the driver. Shards of glass from the windshield cut her hands, and she later said she couldn't see through the shattered glass at all. Eventually, the guy climbed off the car, giving the woman time to drive away. She immediately went to the local police station, reporting
What an
the
asshole.
incident and handing over this highly valuable dashcam footage.
Did they find him?
Woman abandons moving
We don't know.
car.
Cool.
On
Awesome.
September 1st, 2015, in Rowland Heights, California, 22-year-old Jasmine Lacey had some kind of split-second decision that convinced her it would be a good idea to abandon her car in the middle of a busy traffic spot.
What the fuck?
The footage shows Jasmine slamming the brakes of her 2010 Hyundai Sonata in the left lane at approximately 3:45 p.m. before casually stepping out of the still-moving vehicle and walking as if nothing happened. The driverless Hyundai rolled across the center division into
Are you
oncoming
fucking
traffic,
insane?
colliding with a Honda that was subsequently rear-ended by a Lincoln. The silver sedan continued its uncontrolled path, mounting a sidewalk and rolling over two small trees before finally stopping.
Are you
Multiple vehicles
fucking
swerved
serious?
to avoid the rogue Hyundai during the 30-second sequence. California Highway Patrol reported the two SUV drivers involved sustained minor injuries, while Jasmine was hospitalized for non-collision related reasons. Authorities
For
arrested
insanity?
Jasmine on suspicion
Yeah,
of
I would fucking
DUI
hope
at the
so.
scene, though she was released within days due to insufficient evidence for criminal charges. The YouTube
What
video
the
of the
fuck
incident
are you
garnered more
doing?
than 2.8 million views within weeks.
What is wrong with people? Like, legitimately, what the hell happened there? That came out of nowhere. Holy shit.
And continues to circulate even today. But legal analysts
No, exactly. She could have caused a much bigger accident than that. She literally just gets out of the car and walks. Why? What is wrong with you? You want to get off the road? Cool. Park. Oh my god. How? How do people come up with this shit?
Analysts have said that the unusual circumstances made it more or less impossible to actually see justice served, especially since no permanent injuries were reported from the collisions. Passing out while driving.
Oh, that's
April
bad.
2nd, 2015. This man was driving like he would any other day, but something was a little off. He felt totally fine. He wasn't tired, not sick, not anything.
See, that scares the shit out of me. Ah. That shit was on fire, and this shit was a... Yeah, no shit. There was no reason other than stupidity. I don't understand. But yeah, this shit here scares the shit out of me because health issues while behind the wheel happen. This is a thing. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's terrifying because it puts everyone in danger. This guy looks perfectly normal right now. That's normal. But we'll see what happens.
But just after he hit the cruise control, his body did the same thing. Out of nowhere, the guy passed out at the wheel. He had never passed out once in his 26 years of living. Now his car was speeding off the road into a ditch, lurching his body forward and putting more pressure on the gas pedal.
Bro, what the fuck? I know I'm swearing a lot again, but what the fuck?
Suddenly, he was racing through a fence and through multiple fence posts. When he finally woke up, he was too disoriented and confused by the situation to muster the strength to hit the brakes. Fortunately, the impact on the last fence post wasn't too bad, and he quickly regained control of the car. But he knew the situation was strange and something was really not normal. After the incident, the man went to get himself checked out, only to be diagnosed with a previously unknown condition called orthostatic hypotension, a form of low blood pressure that can cause fainting and dizziness.
Holy
He's since
shit.
gotten high-quality treatment and medication that keeps
Yeah,
his
that's
blood
good.
pressure in check. But despite the footage of the incident, State Farm refused to pay for the damage to his car.
Of course.
Instead, they raised
It's an insurance company. They're going to go through every loophole they possibly can to not pay for your shit. That's how that works.
rates and removed his safe driver discount, despite this being the only driving mishap he ever had. Playing victim. This driver and his passenger were approaching a traffic light on a pretty typical day in an American city, but he was about to discover just how beneficial that dash cam can be. As he passes through the light, a car suddenly cuts him off, crashing right into the side of his car. The footage proves that all of this could easily have been avoided with better driving, and that it was all the other car's fault.
Yeah, no shit.
But the people in that car don't agree. The guy in the driver's seat instantly starts yelling at the dashcam driver, blaming him for being the reckless driver, despite the reality of the situation. But he is not the worst part of this. Out of nowhere, the guy's wife climbs out of the car, hysterical and angry as she starts hitting the dashcam driver's car, joining her husband or boyfriend to lash out and berate him.
Alright, I'm sorry. You look fucking crazy when you do this. Don't do this. You are not helping your case by freaking out for no goddamn reason. You're clearly the one at fault here. Stop freaking out. Now you just look silly. That's so dumb.
They also have a child in the car, which doesn't...
The kid! The kid is like, oh yeah, look at that, this is a scratch. He doesn't give a shit, dude. He's just having a good time. That's so fucking stupid.
Suggest they're great parents. Eventually, the angry driver decides to pull over to exchange insurance information, but he goes about it in the single worst way, taking an extremely aggressive approach. And that's when the dashcam driver realizes he has the footage. He could easily prove that these two are looking for an easy insurance fraud win. Their anger makes this highly dangerous. So, he decides to leave. The guilty driver then jumps in front of the car, trying to stop him from fleeing the scene.
No, where are you
good.
going?
He does leave
have
the
nothing
scene,
to
and
do here.
thanks to the dash cam, both of them got citations for the incident.
You fucking better believe
The
it.
driver brake checks and gets angry.
Oh,
This
good.
driver was heading home along
I don't think
one
I've seen
of the
this one,
UK's
but
quiet country roads when he noticed a green Bentley speeding up behind him.
Why is it okay? I've seen a lot of these. Why the hell? All right, why is it always in like the back road areas where there's almost no drivers, but then all of a sudden you get these massive road rage videos on these back roads where no one drives? What? I don't get it.
At first, everything was just fine. The Bentley arrives, overtakes, and continues. But
No, that's not... Dude, you're double laning right now. What the hell is wrong with you? That's not okay. Obviously, I would have seen something wrong right away if I saw that.
Bentley starts to slow down, doing it in a sudden, abrupt way. The driver can't do anything but slow down himself, only now the Bentley is driving so slow the driver has to overtake him. Turns out that's a problem for this guy.
Oh,
The
clearly.
second that the driver overtakes the Bentley,
Slow.
the Bentley takes action. Not only does he overtake again, but the Bentley decides to stop right in the middle of the road, making it difficult for the driver to even try and get around him. Then he gets out. Big Raj himself. He furiously yells at the driver, threatening him, and then he opens the trunk. It turns out
What is wrong with these people? I'm okay with someone passing me when I'm on the road, as long as they don't slow down in front of me. If you are now forcing me to pass you again, if we've done this more than once, that's on you, dude. I have a constant speed the entire time. I'm literally on cruise control the entire time. Why? Why do people insist on passing you and then slowing the fuck down? If you can't go faster than me, don't pass. Clearly, these people don't understand that. Maybe they're just looking for a fight. Maybe they're actually actively looking to beat the shit out of someone for no good reason. That's what it seems like to me.
that Big Raj has a baseball bat hidden away in his trunk, seemingly just for occasions like this one.
Just for such an
which
occasion.
Suggests he does this a lot.
Yeah,
He gets
no
up to
kidding.
the window, threatening the driver, only to realize that he has a dash cam. Suddenly
Fucking
realizing
idiot.
that all of this will be caught, Raj puts the baseball bat away and grabs his phone, snapping a photo of the driver for good measure. But as soon as this video hits the internet, Big Raj has a lot of new fans and old friends. Many people on social media recognized him for pulling similar incidents to them, parking in two spaces.
Dude, come on! I feel like at this point, I don't know if it's his fault specifically because the other car is also doing the same thing. So maybe that is what forced him to do that, even though he could have just parked there completely, perfectly fine. But, oh, he's done this multiple times. He's been all over the place. Oh, good. It's almost worse than leaving a shopping cart in the fucking parking spot.
Faces,
It's
threatening
almost
them
worse.
with bats. The internet publicity called this guy out as an abusive, aggressive loser, even with his expensive car.
Yep,
Level
sounds
4.
about right.
Car narrowly escapes rockfall.
Oh no.
On April 3rd, 2024, a
Oh my God!
7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Taiwan's eastern county of Hualien, triggering landslides and rockfalls all along the Suao Highway.
2024.
But one
Oh,
car's
shit.
dashcam footage captured the harrowing moment in full. The video shows two vehicles abruptly
That was
stopping near the
close.
Shui River Bridge at approximately 8 a.m. local time. For a second, it's silent. Then they start reversing just as a boulder hits the road right where the car was just a second ago.
Oh.
Then the car in front gets hit by a boulder.
Oh.
If the car had reversed even a little bit more, it would have been completely wiped out.
Absolutely.
Miraculously, the driver was not harmed.
Thankfully, it was
by
only the back.
impact. The highway section where the rockfall occurred remained closed for
Jeez,
repairs.
that
with
is
authorities
dangerous.
Working to establish
Holy
temporary
crap, these
access
cars are in
Emergency
the death
crews
zone.
rescued 32 people from vehicles trapped along the same stretch of road, but the incident showed in the dashcam footage resulted in no casualties. Local media confirmed the driver of the crushed car sustained only minor...
See, I'm so happy to be in Canada because we have this thing called the clay belt. It is scary as hell. That's downright horrifying. Pretty scary, yeah. But yeah, we have this thing in Canada called the clay belt. We are on the most, or like one of the most stable places in the world. We have no tectonic plates colliding into each other, no fault lines, no nothing like that. The clay belt is what's keeping it stable. Like we're on a massive swampy area that has permafrost, it has all that. So even if there is an earthquake, it'll just get canceled out by this layer of sedimentary rock underneath. I think it's what it is. I'm not too sure. Either ways, but I haven't had a single earthquake my entire life living here in Canada. That's fucking crazy. So living in a place like that, where especially driving up a mountain where rocks can come flying off the mountain towards you, yeah, that's fucking terrifying. You never know when a rock could just slam right through your windshield. That's crazy. I also live in a place that's never had a tornado either, which is kind of crazy too. I haven't had a lot of... I've lived in one of the most peaceful areas in the world. It's nice. I like it here. The only problem is the goddamn snow.
minor injuries with no serious harm reported to anyone directly involved in the rockfall captured on camera.
That's dangerous.
Man attacks with a pipe during a road rage.
Oh boy,
It was
more of
January
these.
11th, 2023, and a driver in Southern California found himself in traffic on the 2 freeway in Glendale, stuck behind a man in a Tesla who didn't have license plates. Seemingly
That's always a good sign when you don't have any license plate on your fucking vehicle.
out of nowhere, the man, Nathaniel Radmack, abruptly stopped his Tesla and climbed out. The footage shows him in his muscle shirt and jeans carrying what appears to be a metal pipe. For no apparent reason, he suddenly starts attacking the car, causing as much damage as he possibly can. Nathaniel was tracked down pretty quickly by authorities and arrested. But when they started digging into his crimes, they realized that there was a lot more to Nathaniel than they expected. This single attack was part of a broader pattern of behavior, a reign of terror, with Radmack targeting at least 10 victims, predominantly women, between 2022 and 2023. He had used a pipe to smash headlights, threatened drivers, and vandalized vehicles. During his arrest, authorities discovered steroids and over $30,000 in cash in his Tesla.
Oh, God. It's always the roided up idiots, isn't it? That's so stupid. What? Searched his car. They found steroids and more than $30,000 in cash. Prosecutors said he faces 1 felony count of possession for sale of a controlled substance and 1 misdemeanor count of battery in that case. Our office will continue to work with our partners in law enforcement to determine if this person has committed similar acts against the people of Los Angeles County and elsewhere, Gascon said. Jeez. And they found that he's done this multiple times. Holy crap.
He pleaded no contest in August 2023 to charges including felony assault, criminal threats, vandalism, and elder abuse, receiving a 5-year prison sentence. However,
Oh,
due to
no.
California's credit system, he was released in August 2024 after serving just 212 days in prison, with an additional 212 days credited for good behavior in time served. All of that despite his criminal history spanning nearly 2 decades across 8
Bruh.
states, with prior road rage incidents, drug offenses, and domestic violence. His early release sparked outrage, with his
They let him
victims
go early?
criticizing the legal system for prioritizing overcrowding reforms over public safety.
Hey.
Road rage shooting.
Oh, shooting
Marco
now.
Mazzetta was not having a good day. He was
Uh-huh.
speeding along the highway in Orlando, Florida, and he just could not ignore the fact that some guy was tailgating his truck the entire way. He felt like he had to do something. But rather than make a hand gesture or try to signal the guy to move, Marco had his own way of handling the issue. First, he hit the brakes, causing a minor collision with the car behind that forces his tailgater to overtake. But as he did, Marco saw the familiar sign of the other driver holding a gun and immediately felt his life was in danger, which is why he pulls a gun of his own and starts firing through the windshield.
People of America. Why? Why? I don't understand. Why? Just because you have a gun doesn't mean you pull it out every chance you get. Like, I get it. All right. Whatever. We'll just keep going. I'm sorry. If you guys love guns, good for you. But I don't see the good a gun can do in the hands of a pedestrian.
Unfortunately, the high speeds they were driving at meant chunks of glass just fired right back into their faces. His passenger was seriously terrified of what was going on.
Oh shit.
But miraculously, there were no injuries and no significant damage
Bro's got a fucking do-rag. I think these are gang members.
to any other vehicles. Knowing
Is
that
it?
the situation was bad, Marco immediately pulled off the highway.
Maybe it was gang violence instead. Maybe they knew that a rival gang was on their ass and trying to do something. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know, man. Depends where this takes place. Some places you need to carry an act first. I think they said this was California too, I think. Not too sure. Liz, you need to carry an act first. Well, if they weren't carrying either, then it wouldn't fucking matter now, would it? Maybe if nobody had a gun, you wouldn't have to worry about this shit.
And reported the incident to the authorities, but he was widely criticized by social media and authorities in Florida, who believed that his actions were reckless and
Sorry,
threatened
Florida, not
to
California.
escalate the situation. Marco
Florida man! Sounds about right. That's so fucking stupid. Why would you... I don't understand why people just can't drive normally. Just fucking drive, dude. Yes, he's in the rear. He's getting really close. That's because he wants to pass you as soon as possible. There was another truck next to you. He needs to get past. Understandable. Keep fucking driving. Don't brake check him. Don't enrage them. Don't be that guy. Just drive. They will go away eventually. I do the same fucking shit every single day of my life on the highway. My job literally forces me to drive and to see these fucking idiots day in and day out. They will go away. You will rarely meet the same person more than once.
The swear jar is rising.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but this has to be said. Stop. Florida people can rage easily just because they're too slow. Then they should fucking get over it. I also get angry when people are too slow. I don't fucking ram into them. I don't drive them off the fucking road. I wait until I make a turn that they don't make and then move on with my fucking life. And if it's on the highway and we have a passing lane, then I will pass them and move on with my fucking life. It's not that hard. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian and I have much higher fucking compassion, I guess. I don't fucking know. I get over it. If someone is angry, then I will avoid them. Because that's a bad situation to be in. Yeah, tolerance, I don't know. Like, I get it. I also get angry on the road. I understand I'm angry all the fucking time. But you know how I don't get into situations like this? Number one, I don't have a fucking gun. And number two, I get over it. In Florida, letting things go don't come easily. And I don't know why. I don't understand why that's just how it is. Why can't they just get over it? I don't get it. Why does everyone have to get hung up on violence so goddamn much in Florida? You have the craziest fucking people imaginable because the headlines never fucking hold back. You've heard of Florida, man. And I don't get it. Why? You're saying like you lived there for 7 years. I'm so sorry, Aqua. I feel bad for you, man. But they should just get over it. I know there's probably no reason, like you say, but god damn, dude. If I feel like because people have the weaponry, they feel like they need to find a reason to use it. And this is one of those reasons. Not specifically them, not specifically the other drivers, but just they want to get into the confrontation to be able to use it. Why does that feel like the reality of the situation right now? Even the other guy was like, oh, fuck, what are you doing shooting through your fucking windshield? You know what you're going to need to pay for now? The repairs on your fucking windshield. Good job. Now you need to buy more bullets and a windshield. And if you get charged, you're going to have to pay for that too. I sure hope you have a good lawyer. What am I doing? What am I doing? We're not even halfway in yet. Oh my god. Why? You know how wild people can get in Florida? Fair. Does that passenger look like who's about to jump out the truck? Yeah, he does not look happy right now. But, man, I know people are going to give me lots of hate for this, but I will stand by. I will fucking die on this hill. Make guns illegal in fucking US. You know what happened in Australia when they got, what was it, Sandy Hook? Yeah, the shooting in school. Yeah, they banned guns. You know what never happened again? That or gun violence. Did they say where in Florida? I don't know. Did they say at the beginning? No, probably not. Wait, hold up.
Overcrowding reforms over public safety. Road rage shooting. Marco Mazzetta was not having a good day. He was speeding along the highway in Orlando, Florida, and he just...
Orlando. Okay. That sounds about right. Why does that sound about right? It just does. God fucking damn it. Fucking Orlando.
into the authorities, but he was widely criticized by social media.
We're gonna keep going now because otherwise I can go on this rant forever. Firearms are not good. You know why the right to bear arms was a thing? When people used fucking muskets, and that was the most power they could have. And now people have fucking assault rifles. And that's legal. You can't go hunting with assault rifles. You can, but it's going to be a fucking waste. Moving on. We're moving on. I can't go on this.
That his actions were reckless and threatened to escalate the situation.
Well, yeah, no
Marco
shit.
released a statement in the media claiming that he was acting in self-defense, saying that
oh, yeah. They always say that.
His actions would make any idiot criminal think twice before loading, brandishing, and aiming their firearm at someone over traffic infractions.
You should take your own advice, man. Maybe you should take your own advice. I don't know if it was a criminal or not, but that shit is stupid.
Driver storms Grand Floral Parade.
Oh, good.
June 10th, 2023.
Oh, no.
And the 2023 Portland Rose Festival Grand Floral Parade was supposed to be a happy time for families and kids alike.
Uh-oh.
But Sidney Meckham was not having a good day.
I'm sorry. He does not look happy. He looks like he's about to rage. Is that a gun or is a phone? I think that's his phone in his hands. I was about to say, if that's another gun, I swear to God. He's not having it, dude. Where did this footage come from? Is it from his dash cam?
Sidney was extremely irritated by the amount of roads that had been closed for the event, partially because the closed roads meant that there were more police on the streets, and his license was suspended and uninsured, which was...
Oh, good. Yeah, this is gonna help. Why don't you maybe keep your fucking driving inconspicuous? Then you won't have to deal with it. Instead of causing the biggest fucking scene. Why don't people think? Why don't people think? If you're inconspicuous, you drive normally, then, despite the roads being closed and cops being on the road, you're an inconspicuous white man. No one will pull you fucking over for nothing. If you're in the crowd and you're driving normally, no one will pull you over for nothing. Unless they're scanning your license plate actively as they drive, which I don't know if they do. If they do, I'm so sorry, but you're fucking screwed regardless. You could do that without driving through a parade. Just a thought.
It was not a good situation to be in. 20 minutes before the parade was due to start, Sidney had just about had it. He was so frustrated with the whole thing that he started speeding, refusing to abide by what he considered pointless closures. He drove up the side of the banks just to get around the barricades,
Jesus fucking Christ, this
the police
retard.
who tried to stop him.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say
Eventually, he ended up on the parade route itself, speeding toward the crowds in the process.
Whoa!
Police brought out the ground and Air Force.
What did I just talk about? What did I just say? Oh man, people really don't think when they're angry.
Forces to chase him
But
down,
this is
but
ridiculous.
Sidney was not willing to stop. He just kept driving through the route, and when he finally got out of it, the police were still on his tail, and
now he looks
continued
panicked.
to run. But eventually he couldn't get
Fucking-
away, and his own dash cam turned out to be his biggest downfall. Sidney was charged with 38 criminal counts, including 17 felony counts
my
of unlawful
God.
use of a weapon, his vehicle, 15 misdemeanor
yeah.
reckless endangerment charges, and attempted assault.
So pissed off because of the parade that was going through. Yeah. That's fucking stupid. Why? Oh my god. I can't believe I have to tell this to people. Get over it. Not everything revolves around you. Sometimes things happen. Okay, drive around it. Like, I've had to deal with construction my whole life on the roads. When construction happens, it slows down traffic. Too bad. It's construction. You can't control that.
But it turned out he had quite the criminal history already.
Well, that explains a lot.
Traffic violations, and a failure to register as a offender. None of it.
Oh! Is that it? Oh, okay.
Helped his case. He eventually accepted a plea deal admitting guilt to 2 felony weapon charges and 16 misdemeanors. But he claimed that this was all the result of poor planning and impulsive thinking.
Oh. Is that it? Oh, yeah. He's an ex-offender. And I'm not saying EX offender. I'm saying with the other letter offender. You know what I mean. Can't say it. YouTube will get me demonetized, but you know what I mean. Jesus. And he failed to register as an offender? Oh, boy. Oh, this iceberg is getting spicy. We're not even halfway there. We're almost there, though. But, oh my god. This happens every time. What? This is going to last like 3 hours, even though the video itself is 1 hour. We're just going to be spending the entire time freaking the fuck out. Okay.
Rather than malice, saying he was in emotional distress following his niece's recent death. Ultimately, he was sentenced to a 5-year prison
nice
sentence
blame game
with
there,
5
buddy.
years post-release supervision, calling it a remarkable outcome given the potential for fatalities. Shooting during a traffic stop.
We're going to see a lot of these, aren't we? Guys, I'm sorry. This wasn't supposed to be this kind of video, but it's going to be in this kind of video, I guess.
It was June 24th, 2021. In
This is
Chicago,
kinda recent.
Hubert Perez Negron pulled up to a traffic light near the freeway when he saw 2 armed men exiting a vehicle in front. Initially, he didn't think much of it, assuming the weapons weren't real.
That's a fucking assault rifle! With an extended with a barrel mag! This is not okay, dude!
Then, when the second person emerged with another gun and opened fire, the gravity of the situation became apparent. The dashcam footage captured the whole thing as well as the panic of the other cars. Reacting quickly, Hubert immediately reversed his car to avoid the hail of bullets. His primary concern was the safety of himself and others, clearly hoping that no one would return fire in their direction. But the incident occurred in broad daylight, an insanely brazen move by these guys.
No shit.
After firing multiple shots, the suspects quickly retreated to
Is
their
more
vehicle
gang
and
violence?
fled the scene, possibly chasing after whoever they were following. Sure enough, Chicago police responded to an alert following gunshots. And it turned out that the intended targets were 2 women, aged 22 and 19.
the targets were 2 women? The fuck did they do?
Who were in a nearby vehicle. Somehow, despite the gunfire, no injuries were reported in the incident.
Were they part of the
used his
gang?
viral video to express his concern about the increasing threat to public safety in Chicago, thanks to people like this. Fortunately, he has evidence to back up his claims.
Yep.
Driving
I don't blame
through a tornado.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, no, this shit gets crazy. I haven't seen this video, but I can tell this is gonna get nuts. That's in 2021. Holy crap.
On September 1st, 2021, Dashcam footage captured a tractor trailer being flipped by an EF2 tornado in Horsham Township, Pennsylvania during the remnants of Hurricane Ida. The video shows the driver, Carl Beyer, braking during wildly torrential rain and intensifying winds. The visibility dropped rapidly as wind gusts knocked down traffic
and now he's in the tornado.
Lifted the truck briefly before overturning it completely. Thanks to his seatbelt, Beyer escaped with nothing more than minor injuries. The tornado caused 130-mile-per-hour winds, damaging a 3.5-mile path through Montgomery County. It tore roofs off the Upper Dublin Police Department and surrounding buildings, rendered the government complex totally uninhabitable.
I'm so glad I live in an area that doesn't have tornadoes or earthquakes. After watching videos like this, I am feeling so grateful that I got lucky enough to not live in an area like that. Holy crap.
Habitable and partially collapsed exterior walls of homes in Upper Dublin's Stewart Creek area. The footage went viral on YouTube, Reddit, and news platforms, all of which uses the footage to prove that tornadoes could strike outside traditional
was in Montgomery County.
Alley. This could happen anywhere.
2021. You remember anything like that? I hope not. Please don't scare me, babe. Please. I don't know. It didn't say anything, so I'm not too sure.
Truck stops just in time.
Oh,
in rural Norway, this bus was carrying school children on their way home from a field trip. When the driver finally arrived at the destination, he stopped to allow the children to get off. Everything was normal, ordinary. But then, childhood innocence turned the whole scene into a very dangerous and...
Yeah, we saw this one at the fucking beginning. Childhood innocence, more like childhood stupidity. Did you not teach your children not to do this? Also, aren't vehicles supposed to stop with buses? Where is this? Do they not have those laws?
Almost tragic situation. As the kids climbed off the bus, they moved to the back of the vehicle, leaving them blind to the oncoming traffic from their right. Yet one of the children doesn't hesitate to run across the road.
Why?
And just happens to pick the exact moment that a giant truck comes barreling toward him. Fortunately, the truck driver is conscious enough to put his foot on the brake, and the child instantly runs from the truck, just about managing to save his own life. Had the driver been even a second slower to react, this scene would have been far more tragic. This child...
What are the laws in this area? Because I don't know where this is. I don't know if they mentioned anything, but this is stupid.
Child could have been killed, and all because he was too excited to wait.
Thankfully, the driver was paying attention.
Not to take any
Holy crap.
When it comes to traffic. Seconds from disaster. On a seemingly ordinary day
in America, only stop for buses if they have the stop sign. Didn't that one do that, though? Was that a bus or a school bus? They have school children. Maybe that's not a school bus. Yeah, the transport was not coming in like it was a school bus. It came in like it was a regular bus, and there was no reason to stop, even though there were people stopping off that bus. I don't know. It might have just been a regular bus. I'm not too sure. It looked like a public bus, but I don't know where it was. It might have been in a different country. I mean, yeah, I would have dropped it, but that truck didn't look like it was stopped. That was at full speed.
In Mudgee, New South Wales, Australia, Simon
Australia.
Somerville had just finished loading some purchases.
Oh, fuck! I remember this video! Puts his stuff away, then he forgets he has something in the house. He goes back into the house, and then a fucking car explodes.
Into his
Because of a lightning bolt or some
2009
shit.
Hyundai Getz.
Is it the lightning bolt, or is it a
Realizing he had
car?
forgotten
Or
his
a
wallet,
tree?
He quickly returned to the store. But just seconds after he left the frame,
Yeah.
this nearby dash cam captured the sight and deafening sound of a bolt of lightning striking the tree next to his car, causing it
Wham!
to explode in a shower of wood and debris.
I
Massive
remember
branches
this
came
video.
crashing down onto Simon's vehicle, crushing it under their weight. In the store, Simon heard the noise. He said it was like an explosion, like nothing I've heard or felt before. But when he returned to the scene, he was visibly stunned by the destruction
Well,
that
yeah.
had unfolded in his absence.
Don't blame you, dude.
Suddenly, he realized how close he came to genuine disaster. Whether he was inside the car or simply standing beside it, there's no question he would have suffered a serious and very brutal injury.
See, I'm an idiot, though. I came close to... Alright, I'm going to say this right now for you guys. Just because it's not like this, but it is kind of similar. I came close to a head-on collision, and it was not my fault. I was on the highway, going about 110 kilometers an hour, because I cruise at about that speed. And for some reason, on the other side of the road, on the highway, a minivan decided to pass the transport and drive into my lane to do it. They were in my lane, coming in my direction. I was going 110. They were probably going 100, something like that. I had to swerve off the road, literally into the rubble or the gravel, to avoid the van hitting me head on. And at that point, I think first of all, I was angry. That's the first thing that happened. I got really angry. Obviously, like, what the fuck are you doing? You obviously know that someone's in there, the lane that's coming towards you. Why the fuck are you gonna pass, idiot? And secondly, I think it was the realization that I got incredibly close to death. And at that point, my mind just panicked, I guess, and I went into a shit ton of different scenarios where I almost died. Holy crap, if anything was a little different, if I wasn't paying attention, if I was going slightly faster, if, I would have died. Every situation in my mind was going through so fast, I was thinking about every possible scenario. I was having, I think, a mental breakdown at that point. So many things were going through my head because I had almost just died. It took me a little bit before calming down, but it's that kind of situation where you are so close to death that your brain starts thinking, if anything was even slightly different, if he'd forgotten his wallet completely, he'd be dead. If he walked a little slower to go get his wallet, he'd be dead. If, stuff like that. So shit like that is what happened. I get it, I understand, but holy fuck. That's crazy. I understand. So for you guys, if you've never had a near-death experience, shit like that is crazy. Hello, Arkham, welcome. Don't kill the lion, though. I need the lion.
The force of the lightning strike was so intense that it turned the tree's water content into steam, causing the outer layers to explode outward like a natural explosion. The catastrophic event resulted in his car being written off by his insurance company, but his life was miraculously intact. The footage quickly spread online, with social media users expressing shock at...
Alright. But yeah, no, again, even the slightest variation in events going down would have ended badly.
Somerville's incredible luck. Many commented on the surreal nature of the event, with one user remarking that it looks like an insurance ad. Only this time, the insurance company actually paid out.
Yeah.
Level
Fucking
5.
better.
high-speed drive almost turns fatal. A man was driving on a mountain road at a
Oh,
speed that
God
he
damn it.
should really not have even been close to. But as he navigated the winding roads, he had absolutely no hesitation about his driving or his control of this hazardously winding road.
I've had nightmares like this. And it might be because of my job, but I've had nightmares where I'm driving way too fucking fast, and then I have a turn in front of me, and I can't press the brakes. I fly right off the road. It better not be something like that. I'm gonna get angry.
Although, of course, he should have. He went through the tunnel at a high speed,
That's
came out the
ominous.
other end, and everything seemed to be going just fine, but he didn't anticipate the turn at the end of the tunnel. His attempt to
Idiot.
hit the brakes didn't go smoothly, sending the
Idiot.
car into a tailspin right
Oh,
off
God.
the cliff. Below him was a 7,000-foot drop, and he was plummeting right
Oh,
toward
no, I
his
hate that.
Dashcam capturing the whole thing. Somehow,
That's
the
horrifying.
car came to a stop on a ledge, saving the driver from potentially falling to his certain death. Instead, he was able to call for help, although now he had to wait for a while in a very precarious and increasingly uncomfortable situation. Eventually, emergency services arrived, rescuing him from the car and recovering his vehicle without
Jeez.
issue. He had escaped with his
What's
life.
happened to your dad?
But he had
Oh,
also
God.
learned a very valuable lesson: not to speed on mountain roads. Train and
Jesus.
truck collision. A tractor-trailer was carrying goods through Virginia's Chesterfield County when it arrived at a train track. With no trains coming, the driver decided it was safe to drive forward and continue on their route. That was a mistake. Actually, the whole route was a mistake. The trailer immediately became stuck
Oh,
right in the middle of
no.
the track, with the driver unable to reverse or move forward at all. And all of this was a bad situation on its own.
Stuff like this happens
But then a
often, doesn't
train
it?
arrived, and the situation escalated
People don't
from
pay
a bad
attention?
situation to a truly horrifying situation. With no
Wham!
time to try and move the truck, all the
Yeah.
driver and his
At that point,
passenger
just get
could
the hell
do was
out.
get out and try to move to a safe
That train's
distance.
not stopping.
But the train, which is hurtling toward the truck at a very fast speed, is inevitably going to have to collide with it. Sure enough, the train barrels through the truck, demolishing it entirely and flinging debris across the track. Fortunately, everyone's lives were safe. But this particular train track is notorious for this kind of thing. Many cars,
Really?
trucks, and vehicles have gotten stuck. at
Really?
exactly
Even regular vehicles get stuck there? Okay, why hasn't the country or the what is it, the state, I guess, maybe? Why haven't they done anything about that? They know it's a problem. It's probably causing thousands of dollars in millions even of damages each year. Hello, Ali. Yes, I've been live for a little bit. We've been doing a little reaction video here. This is stupid. They know it's a problem. Why haven't they fixed it?
exactly the same place, though rarely as serious or terrifying as this one. Passenger puts driver in danger. Chicago
Don't do that. I don't know why I'm pausing to tell you. Just don't do that.
Uber driver John Williams was working
was an
in
Uber driver,
Chicago's
okay.
West Garfield Park neighborhood on March 17, 2024, when he stopped around midnight for a routine pickup of a female passenger. But just seconds after entering the vehicle,
Particular
the
track like that
passenger
near you?
urgently
Oh,
told
shit.
Williams to go, go, go,
Go, go, go, you finna shoot up the car.
warning that someone was about to shoot. Given that it was midnight, John assumed that this was some kind of drunken confession or delusion, but when 2 gunshots rang out, John didn't hesitate to put
What? What? Are you serious? You ordered an Uber knowing you were being followed by gunmen. There's only so much stupidity I can take. And that there is nearing the line. Stop being stupid. Stop putting other people's lives in danger because of your stupidity. Holy shit.
Put his foot down and speed the hell out of there. In his panic, John hit speed bumps, ran through stop signs and stoplights in a desperate attempt to escape the pursuers.
And she's just on her phone. She's not
Uber
caring.
rides under his belt, but he had never experienced anything like this before. John had no idea if he or his passenger had been hit by the bullets, but the passenger, who was still alive in the back seat, explained that the shooter was her ex-boyfriend, upset about an argument that they had.
Stop it. Get help. You are well aware you are being chased by someone with intent to fire their arms. So you're going to, 1, call an Uber. 2, put the Uber driver's life in danger for shits and giggles. And 3, be on your phone laughing about it the entire goddamn time. What kind of life do you live where this is nothing to you? This is ridiculous. I've never seen anything so stupid. Well, that's a lie. I've seen a lot of stupid shit before, but this is ridiculous. We're not even done. Oh, how much worse can it get?
Eventually, John got them both to safety, where they confirmed that neither one of them were injured in the shooting. But in the weeks following the incident, Williams struggled with anxiety, anger, and sleep issues. He ended up seeking professional help to process the traumatic experience, and eventually returned to driving for Uber.
Not him,
to
the
save
fucking
money
bitch
for
that
his
went in his
future
car.
trucking company. A close call.
Jesus
On May
Christ.
1st, 2023, a Fairfax County police officer had pulled over a gray BMW 7 Series on the southbound Fairfax County Parkway.
Oh, wait, we saw this one at the start, too, I
73
think.
miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone.
This
His
son of a
car's
bitch.
dashcam caught something that the officer couldn't have predicted. While speaking to the driver through the passenger side window, a black BMW M3 traveling northbound at over 120 miles per hour lost control, spun across the median, and crashed right into the stopped car and the police cruiser. After hearing the screeching tires of the M3 as it barreled toward him, the officer ran away from the crash site just in time. The footage shows how the M3 clipped his leg after striking the two cars. But despite this, the officer immediately got back up, hopped over the guardrail,
I would have jumped the
and
fence
radioed
first.
for assistance while checking on the driver of the stopped car.
I hope that fucking driver's okay.
Under unimaginable pressure,
Not their
earned him
fault.
the admiration and public praise of the county police chief, who said that his decision to approach the stopped car from the passenger side may have prevented a fatality. The officer sustained only minor injuries and was able to assist others at the scene. As for the driver of the out-of-control car, he was just 17 years old and charged with reckless driving. The key evidence.
This always happens. The cop needs a vacation. Agreed. I'm sure he got something after this, that's for sure. But, like, it's always the young ones who have no idea how to fucking drive that decide, oh yeah, let's fucking slam it. Let's go maximum speed. You're not used to your car. You're not used to driving. Don't fucking do that. Get a life. It's always the young ones. Stop. Stop it. You guys are killing yourselves. Or others. It's not the first time a young 17-year-old person who just got their full license decides to take a car out for a drive and then crash that fucking thing. Rubber band their fucking vehicle around a goddamn light post. This happens all the time. Stop showing off and drive like an actual adult.
being captured on the officer's dash cam.
120 miles per hour is
Suspicious
insanely
roadblock.
fucking fast.
A man drives along a highway on a pretty typical night when he notices some strange orange cones littered across the road.
Oh.
He obviously
That's
decides
not
to come
good.
to a stop, only to notice that, parked on the other side, a car and a suspicious-looking man are blocking the path. Knowing this is
yep,
very
that's
strange
definitely
and possibly a trap, the driver tries to
a
move
trap.
forward, but the man starts to approach the car window. The driver is polite,
absolutely a
asks
trap.
him if he needs help.
Can I help you with something?
The man says he does, but the driver takes advantage of the vulnerability to flee the scene before the man can explain why he needs help, especially given that he's reaching for his pocket. Not
Yeah.
much is known about what happened after this, but according to the driver, 2 people were detained by state police and charged with a DUI. It's not known if any other charges were involved.
Not what I expected, but
Trapped
still
by cartel.
crazy.
A civilian driver in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico, happened to encounter a Cartel de Noreste checkpoint. The Cartel de Noreste is a notorious criminal organization known for human trafficking, terrorism, and carjacking. This
Yikes.
checkpoint was an obvious trap,
Hello, Wolf.
and the driver knew it. As soon as he arrived at the checkpoint, he saw a roadblock surrounded by intimidating vehicles and suspicious-looking people, possibly hiding some kind of weapons. When a black 4x4 appears, the driver knows that he has to get out of this situation before it all starts to go very, very bad. But as he reverses, the gang members spring into action, trying to get closer to the car, the vehicle strategically blocking the paths. The driver, fortunately, focuses on leaving, outmaneuvering the cartel, and fleeing into the night.
Jeez.
These checkpoints are illegal throughout Mexico, but the cartel often uses them as an easy way to find targets to rob or kidnap for their illicit and illegal actions.
Yeah.
Couple robbed in the middle of the
Dude,
road.
that sucks that shit has to exist. That people have to go out of their way to fight for their lives to avoid that shit. That is so insane. Yeah, he was incredibly lucky he got away. Lucky they didn't have any fire. Well, I mean, they might have had firearms, but they didn't try to shoot at him, it looks like. Thankfully. Oh, my goodness. We're out in the middle of the road. Again?
On a typical day in Guayaquil, Ecuador, a couple were driving home after...
All right. I'm just going to put this out there. You realize how none of them said Canada? This is a really good ad to come to Canada, where we don't have this kind of crime. Yes. Welcome to Canada. The place with no guns, no earthquakes, no tornadoes. That's right. You live your life free of pain. You grow old with the ones you love. You don't have to worry about cartel. We don't have mafia here in Canada. It's just me being an asshole, but like, I've noticed that none of these say Canada. That's in 2023. Oh, wow. This happened kind of recently.
spending the day in the city. But when they got stuck in a traffic jam, their day went from pleasant to outright horrific. Out of nowhere, a man appears in front of the car, flashing a gun and banging on the doors. Along with his accomplice, the gunmen open the already unlocked doors, trying to rip their phones and watches out of their hands. But while the man is quiet and compliant, trying to find the right time to flee, the woman refuses to do what she's told, fighting the entire time. While all of this is unfolding, the traffic starts to ease, and the suddenly tries to hide the from passing cars, as though the situation is not extremely obvious to everyone moving past. But the moving traffic allows just enough space for the driver to put his foot down and get them to safety, immediately locking the door after the incident. They had their belongings,
man, that was a close one.
lives,
They're lucky they didn't try to shoot, though.
To always lock the doors.
I think either the gun was not loaded and was just there for intimidation, or they actually didn't want to fire at them. Because if they wanted to, actually, you know what? They probably didn't want to cause a scene either. Because of all the other drivers around, they're trying to hide their gun from the other drivers. Even though they're very, very obvious about what they're doing. Okay, Man, no, they got fucking lucky. Holy shit.
Level 6. Drunk passenger tries to take the wheel.
No. Don't do that. Please. Why the fuck was the door not locked anyways? Well, I don't think they're in a country where they have automatic locking doors. Because here, at the very least, in Canada, I know for sure, we have doors that lock automatically after you drive a certain distance. But, yeah, I guess they just live in a place where they don't have that.
On a typical Saturday night in January 2019, Sacramento-based
They lock the
Uber
moment you put them
driver
in
Dax
drive.
Castro picked up a passenger from a Citrus Heights bar. He had 3 years of experience. He had dealt with many unruly passengers before, including one incident where a rider pulled a gun on him.
I would never want to be an Uber driver. Ever. In my life. Ever. That shit is way too dangerous. I hate people. So I'm just going to say that outright. I hate people. So I'm probably going to meet a bunch of assholes. This shit is crazy. The stupidest job. Like, cab drivers have it bad, but now Uber drivers have it worse. Because they have to deal with complete random strangers in their cars. It's not even a company car. That's their car. Their vehicle.
And he didn't hesitate to install a dash cam for his own security. On this night, he picked up 32-year-old Suj Vong, an obviously drunk guy who
Uber Eats or
insisted on
DoorDash
sitting
before
in the
becoming a
front
taxi
seat.
driver.
He
Yeah,
spent a
at least
little
then
while
it's just
talking
food.
in a strange, disjointed conversation, but as Dax merged onto the southbound highway, something changed. Suj started to grow agitated and unsettlingly off, slurring phrases like, "You're gonna crash," and laughing erratically. Traveling at 65 miles per hour, Castro attempted to defuse the situation, assuring his passenger that they were headed downtown and that everything would be fine. But then the ride took a turn for the very not fine. Without warning, Suj lunged for the steering wheel, gripping it with both hands and yanking violently. Dax did all he could to maintain control with one arm while fighting to push the guy back, the car swerving across multiple lanes
Jesus
as horns
Christ.
blared. But his passenger was truly out of his mind, refusing to let go and saying things like, "No, we're gonna go crazy, love you, brother, and we're gonna die." The dash cam caught every second, the vehicle lurching towards guardrails, Castro's white-knuckled grip.
I don't like the fact that this guy has a Dragon Ball Z Goku hoodie. Was that Turtle School or is that the King Kai School emblem? Either ways, bro. Okay, if you're gonna be an Uber driver, put your passengers in the back at all times. I don't care if they're insulted. You put them in the back. If they're in the passenger seat, then they can reach your steering wheel, they can reach your brakes, whatever, and they can fuck with your vehicle. Do not let them do that. Back only. If you don't have a back seat, don't become an Uber driver. Simple as that. God damn it.
Grip on the wheel and the blur of headlights as traffic swerved to try and avoid collision. At one point, his passenger nearly succeeded in steering the car into a highway interchange barrier before Dax wrestled back just enough control to save them. With hazards flashing, Dax managed to stop in a traffic lane, dialing 911 as Suj continued erratic behavior. There was no doubt this was the most terrifying experience Dax ever had as a driver.
Yeah, no shit.
Woman
Holy
escapes
crap.
armed carjacking. At 8 a.m. on July 21st, 2023,
More
a
of this.
woman was driving along Skyline Boulevard in Oakland Hills when suddenly a white Dodge Charger abruptly stopped, blocking the victim's path. 2 people climbed out, and the woman instantly saw that one of them was holding a gun and approaching her car. He banged on her window while the other carjacker tried to open the passenger door, but the woman was not going to sit back and let it happen. She immediately accelerated her SUV, swerving around their car and fleeing to safety. Obviously, the woman was massively traumatized by what she had gone through, but she
No, but she made the right choice.
lucky. If the situation had really escalated or gone wrong, these guys could have opened fire and potentially even killed her in the process. But even though she had driven this road without problems for decades, she decided she wasn't going to go down this route again. The trauma and danger were too
I mean,
much
yeah,
for her to
I don't think people are gonna. If they're using this road to rob people, they're not gonna stop just because one of them got away. They'll be back. They'll try and do the same thing again. Thankfully, she had a dash cam, so we can tell, and hopefully this went viral so people don't drive on this road. But that's insane. The people who can do this is insane to me. Like, what would bring people to do this? Maybe I'm just out of touch. I don't know. I can empathize to a point, but I don't think I can justify this kind of behavior. Even me, a ghost. Sorry, that's just stupid. You must be incredibly desperate to resort to shit like this. Either that or you're just a horrible person. And I can't tell which one's which.
cope with. As it turns out, this was just one of many carjackings in the area. 5 days later, authorities in Oakland managed to chase down and arrest 3 people, 2 adults and a minor, who they believed were responsible.
Jeez.
A trap
And a
on
minor?
the road. In August,
So they were grooming, is what you're telling me. Is that what they were doing? That's just disgusting, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Dead brain cells. You're out of touch. These people are. Agreed. If you're resulting to crime, you are fucking weird. Like, if you're pushed to the point where you have no choice, I don't know anymore. Something's wrong somewhere. But you shouldn't have to resort to that shit.
August 2016, a man was traveling from the UK to the French port of Calais as part of his regular importing-exporting business. But before he got there, he found a group of masked men with intimidatingly large sticks that blocked the road with a fallen tree.
That's a lot of people.
As the truck approached the tree, the driver realized what was going on. These were not just people. These were most likely people smugglers, and they wanted to sneak into the country. The Calais region had been hit particularly hard by a number of people smugglers exploiting the increasingly serious migrant crisis, profiting from helping desperate people seek passage into the United Kingdom. The dashcam footage ended up being essential, critical evidence, helping provide valuable insight into the methods being used by these organizations.
Yeah,
They
good.
were smuggling migrants onto trucks, allowing them to enter the UK without opposition or even the knowledge of the authorities. The footage quickly went viral, leading to national outrage and calls for major crackdowns on criminal activities in the region. 1 month later, protests erupted in Calais, with lorry drivers and farmers blockading the main motorway route into the town, demanding the closure of the migrant camp known as the Jungle, the home of these criminals. Security car attacked. It was April 22nd, 2021, and Leo Prinsloo and Lloyd Mtombeni were on a routine mission escorting high-value cargo along South Africa's N4 highway in Pretoria. Today, their precious cargo was around $90,000 worth of mobile phones.
I mean, my dad and uncle were driving from Mexico to U.S. Jeez. Why can't people just go through the regular means of going to other countries? Is it expensive? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've been in Canada my whole life, so first of all, I don't know. Is it just criminals that do it because they can't get a visa? Or I don't understand. That's nuts. To think shit like that happens. I clearly am very coddled and live in a very, very calm place in the world. I don't have to deal with this shit. Not just criminals. Well, then why don't they go through the regular means? That's just stupid. Why become a criminal? Weird.
But this job had become increasingly dangerous due to the rising frequency of cash-in-transit heists throughout South Africa. Leo, the driver, was a former police sniper, but Lloyd was new. This was his 4th day on the job, and while it had been all smooth...
Oh, man, that's not lucky. That's not lucky at all. Ah, yes, I've been a security guard here for 4 days, and already I'm going to see some goddamn shit. I'm sure the other guy's like, "Welcome to America." That's not even America. That's South Africa. My bad. 4 days. God damn it! I don't even do anything in 4 days. I started 4 days for my company, and I barely did anything. I wasn't even driving on my own.
Smooth sailing so far, everything changed when gunmen and luxury vehicles launched a surprise ambush. Seemingly out of nowhere, AK-47 bullets started lashing against the van's armored frame, and through the whole thing, Leo didn't even panic. He calmly told his buddy to prepare the rifle and call for backup while expertly maneuvering through traffic to evade the attackers.
Now, this guy's done this before.
The dashcam footage captures the impressive skills that Leo has as the driver, managing to somehow outsmart and outrun their attackers while never once losing his cool.
Okay, this guy's done this before.
They keep shooting at the truck, determined to get access to the cargo. Unfortunately, the truck gets stuck on a concrete barrier, leaving them exposed to the enemies. Knowing they're vulnerable, Leo takes the rifle and climbs out to protect the cargo until security.
This guy's only been working for 4 days. Oh no!
Arrives to help them. And I think it's pretty easy to say he has the skills to protect Lloyd, too.
Jesus.
Woman pepper sprays unsuspecting man. On July...
Unsuspecting? Wait, the driver? Oh, come on.
July 31st, 2024, Uber driver Shahel Mahmoud arrived in New York to pick up his rider, 23-year-old Jennifer Gilbolt.
In New York?
Fellow passenger. His dash cam would go on to capture some unexpected and wholly inappropriate behavior. The car stopped on the Upper East Side at a red light, with Shahel taking the opportunity to make a quick prayer. But in the back, Jennifer and her friend had apparently grown uncomfortable with the situation, and they couldn't bring themselves to sit back and do nothing. So Jennifer grabbed her pepper spray and sprayed it right into Mahmoud's face.
You're kidding. That's assault. I'm sorry. You're getting charged for assault. Or at least I fucking hope you do. What the fuck? Why? You're uncomfortable because they had to stop the car to take a prayer real quick? That's part of their religion. It's part of their culture. Leave them be. He didn't do anything.
Obviously, Mahmoud was in excruciating pain, suffering severe burning, redness, and pain.
It was not deserved. He was literally doing nothing.
But when he tried to escape the car, Jennifer jumped forward and grabbed his arm as if trying to keep him inside. Fortunately, he broke free and managed to put the car in park while he got some air. The camera inside the car didn't stop rolling, capturing the moment where Jennifer's friend questioned why she would pepper spray him like that.
Why do you do that?
Jennifer's response, he's brown.
Ooh, lady? Lady? Lady. That is the stupidest fucking answer I have ever heard in my life. He's brown. Are you serious? So, at that point, wouldn't it also be considered hate speech? And a war crime? I don't know if it's a war crime, but hate speech for sure. And assault. That's incredibly fucking racist. Saw your friend pepper spraying a man when he was doing nothing wrong. She didn't stop her because she had no idea what the hell was going on. Or she's stupid too. He's brown. That's reason enough for me to assault someone with pepper spray. Racism is never a good reason for assault. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't know if that needs to be said. I'm pretty sure that needs to be put out there right now. Could have been inverted? What does that mean? I don't know if that might have been a typo. Oh, you mean that literally? Okay. That's disgusting.
Mahmoud didn't hear this. He was busy calling 911, summoning police to the scene, who immediately arrested Jennifer for her crime. And while
What's going on with your phone? You taking picture after picture?
she was confident enough that she would get away with it, she seriously underestimated how the footage would work against her.
No shit. That's straight up assault, you bitch.
This evidence became critical in her indictment.
This fellow passenger, an unarmed woman, is seen trying to prevent her from continuing the assault. The driver called 911 and Gubo was arrested. I'm assuming that's her. It was officially charged in a state Supreme Court indictment with 1 count each of assault on the 2nd degree as a hate crime. Called it! Assault in the 3rd degree is a hate crime. Even more. And aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree. I called that shit. Oh my god. That's so fucking stupid. Why are you doing that? Get a life.
For 2nd and 3rd degree assault as hate crimes along with aggravated harassment. The attack left Mahmoud with temporary vision impairment and injuries to his shoulder, neck, and back. He was unable to work for nearly 2 months following the incident.
Jesus. Yeah, 2 months of no working. I'm sure that's hell on his life situation right now.
Was served. Level 7.
Oh boy.
Driving through a wildfire. In August 2018,
oh wait, have
Justin
we seen this
Bilton
one?
and his 70-year-old father were camping 2.5 miles up.
Why did she assault him? Because he was brown. Her words, not mine. Because he was brown. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. That was a hate crime.
The North McDonald Trail in Glacier National Park, Montana. But one night, they noticed a wildfire not far away, rapidly spreading through the wilderness. Initially, the fire covered just 5 acres, but it quickly grew to engulf over 2,000 acres in a matter of hours. Realizing the danger they were in, they made the difficult decision to immediately hike back to their car, which was parked at the end of a dead-end road. Their only escape route was through the fire. The dashcam video reveals the intense and downright frightening conditions they faced. As they spread through the fire,
Bro, that is incredibly hot. You thought Cali had a bad with wildfires? They probably did, but this doesn't exclude this. Or that. I mean, wildfires in general are just bad for everyone, but yeah, no. This was, do you have any idea how hot that is? The flames are so big, it could melt your car's tires if you're not careful. The heat goes right through the vehicle. So they gotta hurry up and get the hell out of there.
Flames and smoke were everywhere, falling debris collapsing around the car, which itself was heating up very quickly. And the whole time, Justin was just thinking about the dangers that weren't so obvious. What if the car blows up?
Yeah. The car's heating up, it's gonna explode.
Fortunately, his dad was calm and composed, encouraging his son to drive easy and slow down. They would be fine. But that was not the way it went. Their escape was nearly stopped entirely when they encountered a falling, burning tree blocking their path.
Oh no!
Dead end. They had no choice but to reverse back through the inferno, making the escape even more
they got out,
dangerous
right?
than it already was.
Fuck, I hope so.
Luckily for them, 2 park employees were waiting in a boat ready to rescue them. Their car was abandoned to the flames, but they emerged with their lives intact.
Jeez.
The fire was started by a lightning strike, eventually going on to burn down over 14,000 acres in Glacier
Son was
National
driving, yeah.
Park. If they had been even a few minutes
Probably
slower,
his son's car to begin
they
with.
would have been killed. Truck
That's fucking crazy. If those park rangers weren't there to save their lives, they would have died in that fire. Yeah, that's crazy. Horrifying. Truck plunges off bridge. Oh, goody. More of this stuff.
plunges off bridge. It was March 1st, 2024.
Oh no,
and
we're
26-year-old
seeing a
semi-truck
camera
driver
on the
Sydney
inside.
Thompson was driving along Louisville Clark Memorial Bridge. But suddenly, out of nowhere, a
Whoa.
Chevrolet C-1500 pickup truck swerved to avoid a stalled vehicle crashing into her truck. In an instant, the impact sent the truck wildly out of control,
What are you
crashing
doing?
through the guardrails and leaving the semi-truck dangling 100
Oh,
feet over
fuck.
the water. The
Oh
trailer
no.
was wedged between the bridge girders,
Oh,
and the cab
no.
hung over open water, creating an impossibly dangerous situation that could shift at any moment. For 40 minutes, Sydney was trapped inside the cab, unable to move, and unsure
Oh
if she
no,
would
I
even
feel
make
so
it.
bad for her.
She later discussed the situation, saying how she was convinced her life was over the second the truck went through the railing. But now, she was in limbo, forced to think about her 5-year-old son and the potential that she was about to be taken from the world, leaving him
Oh
behind.
man.
Sydney had no choice.
She
but
got
to turn to
saved, though,
hope
obviously,
and
but-
prayer to try and make it through the ordeal. Against
Holy
all the
crap.
odds, there was one person who knew that he could save Sydney from this impossibly terrifying situation: Louisville firefighter Bryce Carden. Bryce was
Good
an
shit.
expert in high-angle rescues, and he knew exactly how to get her. But the unstable, risky position of the truck meant that this was the riskiest rescue he had ever made. A single wrong move, and Sydney could plummet to her death. Bryce
Oh,
climbed
man.
up to the cab, praying with her to comfort her before helping to pull her through the truck window. It was risky, with every move threatening to send the truck over, but she made it. Using a harness, the
Fuck.
firefighters hoisted her back to safety on the bridge, ensuring that she would see her son once again.
Holy crap. That actually scared me. Like, genuinely. That was scary. That footage of them going right through the railing was insane. But also, who's gonna arrest that driver that rammed into her, huh? No one? Really? Really want to do that? Yeah, he avoided the stalled vehicle, sure, but he didn't have to drive that far into the opposite lane. That's just insane. That's on them. That was no accident. That was their fault.
Gavin Collins' dashcam footage.
Who?
On Good Friday 2019, Gavin Collins, a Derbyshire man, stole a car
Wait.
from one of his neighbors.
Good Friday? 2019? You mean... Oh, no. It's a 1-year anniversary. No, sorry, not 1 year. It's on this day. 6 years ago. What are the odds?
Neighbors in Nottinghamshire, England. He immediately sped away but crashed the car not too long after his chaotic adventure. When a passing motorist stopped to check on him, Gavin forced the motorist to drive him in her car. But he had no idea that she had a dash cam
What?
active, which captured every one of his increasingly erratic, disturbing moves. Gavin ripped off the rearview mirror, shouting, "Don't need this," before exclaiming, "Watch me go now," and claiming to be Jesus, descendant of God.
I'm Jesus! I'm descendant of God! And you lock me up! Watch this!
Suddenly, the unwitting passenger had to sit and watch as the forced driver began overtaking vehicles at an insanely high speed until he lost control, crashing into a house. But Gavin
Holy
wasn't even
fuck.
close to done. After his second violent rampage, he forced his way into a woman's home, kicking down the back door. Inside, he found a woman and her children terrified.
He's
of
still
the
alive?
intruder. Using the blood on his hands, he drew crucifixes on the woman and her children, making wild.
It's the religions again. They're back. Why do they keep coming back? I don't know how the hell he survived, though. He crashed into a house. Oh, your religions and your silliness. How could you?
Threats and talking about God. This clearly unstable man was dangerous, but he had no real
Clearly
plan for what he
unstable,
was
yeah,
going
I
to
agree.
do to these innocent people. Eventually, he just left, wanting to move on to the next unhinged act in his playbook. He stole
Well,
the
the
woman's
car still
car
worked?
driving to Mansfield Woodhouse. He reversed at high speed into a sidewalk, striking and killing a retired teacher, waiting.
Okay, come on. Are you... Jesus Christ, man. This person is just insane.
At the bus stop. But Gavin didn't feel any remorse about the murder he just committed. In fact, he was heard shouting, "I've killed him, I've killed the devil." But this led to Gavin being arrested. The entire series of events, from the initial car theft to the fatal collision, was described by the judge as a psychotic episode.
No shit.
It's obvious that Gavin
I
had
could have
some
told you
mental
that.
health issues, though it's never been confirmed what exactly the nature of them were. Machete-wielding bandits.
Oh, good.
Brian and Lauren Swenson, a Utah couple living in Kenya, were traveling with two Kenyan trainers, Shiv and Collins, to film a promo video for a CrossFit gym they were opening. But the overwhelmingly heavy traffic on the main road led them to the decision to take a detour. That
Yeah, we saw this one in the other video.
the car passed two armed officers who gestured for a ride, but the Swensons knew that this area was dangerous, and bringing those people into the car might end up more trouble than it was worth. They didn't stop.
Yeah.
But further down the road, they encountered a suspicious
We saw this
stopped
video in
public
the other one.
transport vehicle. Shiv and Collins knew something was wrong. They urged the Swensons to keep driving, but as
Reminds me
they
of the
got
time I
closer
was
to
in the
the
Dominican
car,
Republic with
three
your
men
father.
armed with machetes charged at the car.
You and your dad getting the
Dashcam
weirdest
footage
shit, man.
captures the exact moment that Bryant reversed, purely to buy
You
himself
guys should
time
calm
to roll up
down
his partially
and
open
relax.
window. In the
Sit
panic,
down.
Bryant expertly
and enjoy
maneuvered the
life.
car away from the threat, saving
Stop getting
everybody
into
in the
trouble.
car from an extremely dangerous fate. But the dashcam footage reveals how bad things could have gotten. One of the attackers was carrying what looked like stolen goods in a bag, suggesting this had been going on all day, and another had a gun. The Swensons quickly realized that the bandits had attacked the public transport vehicle.
I thought we were
and
visited
the
places that go
passengers
wild.
inside.
Well, stop visiting those
They
places.
had picked up those guards. It would inevitably have led to a shootout.
There,
that
problem
would have possibly
solved.
Killed everybody.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I actually saw this one a while ago, too. I didn't watch it, but I was thinking about maybe looking through it, but... Oh, yeah, this is volume 2. We should probably go through volume 1, though, at some point. Either ways... God damn. You mean Florida? No, not home. At home. In your house. Don't go out. Just stay at home. Order your food from Amazon. Deny all external contact. Holy crap. So what have we learned? Ladies and gentlemen, we have learned that drivers are fucking crazy. Gun violence is not exclusive to being outside of a vehicle. And schizophrenic sociopaths are the bane of existence. Cool.